Welcome to the Plant Trainers Podcast, where we're helping people improve their quality of life through nutrition and fitness. And now, your hosts, nutrition and wellness coaches, international speakers, Adam and Shoshana Chaim.
Hey, I'm Adam Chaim.
And I'm Shoshana Chaim, and we are
Propelled by Plants. Today we bring to you episode 477, one tool every fitness club needs to know about.
In today's episode of the Plant Trainers Podcast, we're diving into something awesome that every club should know about. I had a fantastic talk with Chris Roche all about recovery and how to help athletes smash their personal records. If you're a fitness club owner, a personal trainer, or just someone who's into fitness, you absolutely need to give this show a listen. Hit us up at info@planttrainers.com or find us on Instagram at planttrainers if you want more information and free consultation about what we talk about today. If you're curious to learn more and want to try the products, we've got your back. We've got some sweet discounts for you, and we're here to guide you through the process with no extra cost. So again, hit us up for that free consult.
Chris is a health and fitness services manager at the Rosedale Club in Toronto. He's a medical exercise specialist, continuing fitness education teacher, and master trainer. He's got more certifications than we have time for, and he tells us a little bit about it at the beginning of the show. If you're looking for recovery, if you're looking to improve your fitness, it's a great show for you. And if not for you, share it with someone you know. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, now it's more important than ever to stay close and connected to us as we're going to be making some changes here at Plant Trainers. So please head over to planttrainers.com and get our plant-based comfort foods recipe book for free. That's a $14.99 value just by signing up for our newsletter so that you can know what changes are, because we want to make sure that we stay in touch.
And now for a moment of gratitude.
I'm grateful for my summer. It was absolutely amazing. I had some time to myself at home. I went to Croatia that I've always wanted to go to and back to Venice. And we had a family trip for some amusement parks over in Ohio and Pennsylvania.
I'm grateful for our family vacation as well, and also to be back in the pool. I haven't swam in a while and I'm back there. So happy to be in.
I'm Shoshana Chaim. Thanks so much for taking the time. This is out on the market, and it is making the difference in athletes' lives. It is the difference between gold medals and not gold medals for so many people out there. But what's really, really amazing about it is that it's completely unique. There is no competition, and this is up and coming. And as people are finding out, you do not want to be the last person to find out. You want to be ahead of it in terms of recovery, in terms of athletic performance, in terms of overall health for your clients, for your athletes. This is where you absolutely need to be. I've been in the health and wellness world for over 20 years already, a personal trainer since 2008, although I'm not practicing anymore, but still in that health world. And I have Christopher Roche with me here today. And Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself so that everybody could kind of know where you're coming from?
Sure. Thanks for having me. I've been in the fitness industry for roughly 30 plus years. I started in group fitness, but developed mentoring and education. I'm a master trainer with Core Health and Fitness for Schwinn Cycling. I was a lead educator and author for Liebert Fitness for the Bosu brand, which is Hedstrom Fitness. And I basically mentor and educate instructors. I work at the club level in management and program development. And I've done that for the last at least 15, 20 years. I love it.
I'm glad that you gave that information and not me, because there's so much there. It's extremely impressive. And what I really want to know is what impressed you about the ASEA Redox products when you first heard about it?
You know, it was really simple. I'm a believer in science. When I hear about stuff, I want to know I want to know, don't give me the fluff. I want to know, give me the bare brass knuckles details. But in this case, it was basically, I was talking with a friend and expressing how my father had cracked 3 vertebrae from a fall off a ladder. He broke 2 lumbar vertebrae and 1 cervical. And, you know, with my background, which I didn't mention, I have a background in post-rehab as a medical exercise specialist. You know, automatically someone with that level of injury and at 80 years old is not getting out of bed in the next 3 days. He was assigned to be in bed for 6 to 8 weeks. I did a little research based on what I heard from my friend. And I knew a few things. It was a natural product. It did not conflict with medication. There was no way to be allergic to it, and it was native to our body. So once I verified that, I said, well, my father needs something. He doesn't want to stay in bed 8 weeks, and I couldn't be there every day to help lift him out of bed. I mean, Shoshana, it's hard to express. He couldn't even pull the bed sheets forward for the level of pain he was in. and I started giving him the ASEA. He had no idea what it was, and I was having some faith and some hope. And my mom called me roughly after 2 weeks of him being in bed and said he was walking around. And I sort of freaked because I've had clients in that situation before, and I know you just don't get out of bed and start walking around. Now, I'm not saying he went and played a round of golf. He did limp, he walked with assistance, but in 3 to 4 weeks, he gave up all walking assistance and he gave up his pain medication.
So you're able to see the recovery was sped up in a positive way, and also his
recovery was, in my mind, astounding.
Right.
I mean, in my mind, I don't know, maybe there's miracles out there that other people have seen, but this to me, based on my experience and the people that I trained in help recover from injury, this was astounding. So it did help with recovery. So if you can imagine what it would do for someone with an injury, you can imagine how the recovery can be if you're simply an athlete with a strong leg day. It
would be huge. So that was going to be my next question. Seeing your dad go through that recovery, how did your mind shift into, wow, what are the implications for athletics now?
Well, I immediately became my own self-test subject. And of course, again, I mentioned legs because that's the thing that's the most strenuous. You feel it the most in a couple of days. If you're working out the way you should to get the results you want, you're not always sore, and soreness is not always the indication of a great workout. But I could do legs maybe 4 or 5 days apart. I could do legs 4 days a week now, almost back to back, after staying consistently on ASEA, and I overwhelmingly recovered. It was surprising.
So I like going to the studies. So I know that Appalachian University did a study at the North Carolina Center at their campus, and they showed that there was an increase of fatty acid as fuel, 30% increase in muscle glycogen, 29%. The mice that they did this on adults, but there was also a study that they did on the mice, and the mice ran 29% further till exhaustion, and then they wanted to get back onto the little hamster wheel faster. There is a decrease in lactic acid happening in the body, and one of the biggest things is that there's a 12% increase in VO2 max. So having exposure to all of those things and knowing how clean this product is, to the degree that the Olympic athletes are allowed to take it, it's sanctioned by the Olympics. Yep. What results have you seen with your own personal clients or other people that you know that you've helped? I
can speak specifically to one athlete I train. He's a hockey athlete, and we do sprint trials. That's our base marker. And we've been talking about ASEA Redox as a liquid, but I was using the gel. And we would wait until the final sprint and maybe doing 4 or 5 sprints at about 50 meters. It's a plate-loaded sled. He's got to push it on the turf as hard and fast as he can. And on the 4th or 5th one, I believe it was the 5th one, we same recovery time, the gel on his legs, and he beat the last sprint by 3 seconds, which for the average person might not think that's much, but you can win and lose in 3/100th of a second. 3 seconds is massive. He jumped higher when we did his evaluation for height jump, for standing jump, and he beat his sprint. And that was when he should have been the most exhausted.
I think that's incredible. And that reminds me, a couple of years ago, I had the pleasure of being able to be at a conference with Bria Larson, who's an Olympic gold medalist. And what she was saying is that she had hit a plateau, although she's, the best of the best, she had hit a plateau and she was looking for that extra edge going into the Olympics. And when she got on the ASEA, she was able to decrease her time by 1 second per week for 10 weeks straight. So the average person, again, a second, it's like, okay, but at that level, that second was the difference between gold and not gold for her. And the fact that she could take it, that it's clean, that she has the gel to be able to apply to any sore muscles, joints, get that blood circulation going, because it does increase the blood circulation up to 50%. So there is that healing and that movement and just the body communication that's happening. It's huge. So seeing that with your client is really big.
We're just going to take a little break here because I want to share with you that growth is something that happens for everyone and every business. And we've been going through a lot of personal and professional growth here at Plant Trainers, and we want to stay connected with you. That's why we're giving away our plant-based comfort food ebook that's worth $14.99 for free at our website at planttrainers.com or by clicking the link in the show notes. Click on that, get on our newsletter because we're going to be making some serious changes and you need to be aware of what's going on. We look forward to connecting with you there. And now back to the show.
Sure. The number one thing we talk about in working out, whether it's regular clients or athletes, your next week is all about your recovery. And
Right.
the sooner you can get back at it and be recovered. Now, just to back up to the study in North Carolina, I would love to touch on the fact that a lot of people that may be listening to this are very familiar with the American College of Sports Medicine. They are a premier foundation in which so many fitness professionals tune into for information on authentic science with integrity, and they don't care about the outcome. They do the study wherever the chips fall.
Yeah.
When I realized that Dr. David Neiman was the vice president of ACSM for 7 years, and some of his publications I'd already read, and I didn't make the connection at the time. It makes you really have faith and integrity in the science because they're not in any way benefiting. They just do the research and whatever happens, happens. And the studies on the cyclists that showed what you were saying about the higher endurance and the oxygen and the blood flow, all of that came out in the wash as true. And as a cyclist myself, that really caught my attention.
And I think that really does catch the attention of the athletes because if you break down the word redox, it's the reduction of the oxidation. So we have we're utilizing our own antioxidants to a much higher effect in the body. So many people taking in more glutathione, but we have so much that's being wasted already. So when our redox is at a good level and our cells have been refilled with its own intercellular fluid, nothing foreign to the body, then the body's using its own glutathione 500 to 800% more. The effect that has on the body from the athletic standpoint, from the recovery standpoint, from the VO2 max, from musculoskeletal, you name it, it really does have an impact. So any gym that concentrates either on working out or on some kind of specific sport is going to benefit because their athletes are going to have that extra edge. They're going to recover faster, whether they're sick, whether they have broken bones. UFC, martial arts clubs, they have people out because of broken bones, or they have people not out with broken bones and they should be out, but at least they're recovering faster and the body is working at a much higher level.
I find that a lot of people in the fitness industry only consider and its importance when they're sick. They don't understand the immune system handles all recovery because everything requires effort, has a cost on the body. And that is repaired, redox, and it signals to tell the body how to repair. It comes to working out and doing high athletics and endurance, redox is foundational and essential. It could be the difference between win or lose for sure.
I agree completely. And I've had 4 years doing this business and probably over 200 personal clients, not even looking at the people who I'm working with. 2 of them are over the age of 60. One of them came out of their cast for their arm 3 weeks early. The other one came out of her boot 4 weeks early. So their ability to get back to movement, back to their gyms, back to doing their whatever it is that they want to do is huge. And them being able to use their memberships that they have and pay their memberships that they have is huge as well. So, all right. So before we sum up, what are the top 5 situations that you would recommend the Renew 28 gel, which is the redox, all those things that we've been talking about, but in the gel form? When would you recommend those? What can you think of there?
I don't know if I need to mention 5. There's no downside to using the gel, whether it's for soreness on one spot, whether it's on your face to feel more refreshed and to help the face recover. I mean, if you get hit in the face like you might in boxing, because we have some boxing in our club, there is no downside to using the redox gel anywhere on the body.
Right. The other thing that I could think of is in some of our south neighboring friends, being out in the sun all day and having different sunburns or long-term sun damage and being able to
I may have thought of that. I may have thought of that if we were still in June in Toronto, but right now it's kind of chilly up here.
It is chilly up here now. And then in terms of the redox drink itself, yes, we can stimulate blood flow. Yes, we can get a better workout just by applying the gel, but let's talk about the implication of drinking the liquid that's inside this bottle as well.
I think of everything from a longevity standpoint. The whole goal in a proper fitness routine or in nutrition, all of that is to stay in the game longer. Whether that's to stay in the game of life longer or to stay in your golf game longer, do things that defend your position to stay in the game longer, and do not give yourself reasons to be out of the game. And the foundation of your ability to create redox signaling promotes all of that, whether it's to get better rest, whether it's to recover faster, whether it's to heal a wound or heal a broken bone, all of that. It keeps you in the game longer. If you have to take a few days off because you've got a cold, you'll be back in the gym sooner.
Exactly. And having that edge that other people don't have, but soon they will, because this is up and coming, and it's going to absolutely be everywhere. And there's really two reasons why it's up and coming. Number one is because it is exactly what we say it is, and it does the most amazing things, but the business opportunity that goes with it, whether it's from an individual point of view or from a club point of view, selling it in a recovery center, selling it as a product in the gym, or having it shipped and ordered directly to people's houses to not have to carry so much stock as well. There's so much opportunity there, especially when people want to recommend it to friends and family. There's opportunity for business to happen there without people necessarily coming into the gym, which, yes, you might not have the people coming to the gym, but then you have people from all over the country that can benefit from this product, but can benefit the gym and the business model as well. And that's, that comes with coaching and seeing exactly what each gym needs and being able to support them through that process. So I'm extremely excited to see this growing within gyms.
In my mind, it's an easy recommendation because the science was proven so long ago. We're just bringing it forward and being the messenger of it. People just have to try it, and then they'll have their own experience, and it'll show for itself. It really will.
Thank you so much. I think this is fun. This is fun talk. We could talk a lot more about this, but we'll let everybody else go.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Shoshana.
Thank you all so much for listening to this edition of the Plant Trainers Podcast. We want to make sure that you subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, or any other podcasting platform.
We really appreciate the feedback we receive from you. Every time we get a 5-star rating or review on iTunes from one of our fans, it really helps other people find us, just like you did.
Thanks so much to our patrons. To become a patron, visit us at patreon.com/planttrainers. Even supporting us with $1 really makes a difference in the quality of the show.
And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is @PlantTrainers. Like Plant Trainers on Facebook, join our newsletter, and check out our website at planttrainers.com for awesome recipes, a list of our services, and of course, our latest podcast.
We encourage you to email your questions to info@planttrainers.com so that we can help you improve your quality of life through nutrition and fitness.
So we hope we've inspired you today. Join us again next time and have a healthy day. Or is that too corny?
It's a little cheesy.